We are live and we are back for Friday Night Pint. Much requested, hotly anticipated. We've been getting DMs and messages going, when's Friday Night Pint back? It is back. We've had a bit of a break. We just had to go through some legal battle to get Nicky off the channel, and now we're in it. No, I'm joking. He's working tonight. He couldn't be here tonight. But, I'm here with Scott and Ryan. And it's good to see you, lads. Obviously, we met up recently. We had a beer, but it's good to see you virtually again in this setting. Talking West Ham.
It's been a lovely show, and I'll see you in 3 months. It's been a while, isn't it? It's been a little while, but yeah, it's good to get back. Obviously, we've had a lot of stuff going on over the summer. All of us been tough to get together and that. But yeah, as you said, we met up last week, had a beer, had a chat. So yeah, hopefully we'll get this back on the road again, and enjoying it.
Yeah, that's it. Scott's in a new location. It's weird. What's going on, Scott?
I'm literally just sitting in the corner. That's it. I've moved from. I can't go this way and I can't go that way. So I'm in the corner now.
I like it. I mean, I like it. I mean, yeah, probably need the light a bit more on your face, but
I know. I'll move it as it gets darker, mate. Don't worry.
You're looking like Graham almost with the lighting. You're in Graham territory. But like I said, look, we've definitely missed a lot of goings on this channel with the transfer window, the new manager, so much has happened since we've last done a video. Since we did that post-match pint we did what was live? Something with Colton Cole. The Colton Cole was the last video. Since that Colton Cole video and that post-match pint, so much has happened. Obviously, we're going to talk about the striker search, Duran, Fullkrug, Summerville potentially signing, but we haven't kind of really given our opinion on this. Lopetegui. Although I know it was kind of, I think he signed when we had Colton Cole, didn't we? We did join when we did Colton Cole. And we sort of mentioned but it was more getting Colton's opinion, so than yours or Nicky's. But yeah, how are you feeling about Lopetegui?
New era at West Ham. Obviously, different ideas, different backroom staff. As we all know, the club needed it, the team needed it, the fans needed it. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring, seeing how he can change, and getting us fans excited to go over London Stadium again and starting to build a young team that can help push us up the table and hopefully have a great season.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you. It's just one of them, and it seems to be. I think they've gone down the route of a more natural progression instead of trying to go from this negative, low block football straight into an attacking mindset. You know, Lopetegui's more of a. But he wants to play more on the front foot, but he is still quite defensively minded. So, it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense. I know. We've touched on it a couple of times in the build-up. I think before he signed, when the rumours were circulating that he was coming, and we said, you got to give the guy a chance. The club seems to be backing him or trying to back him in the transfer market, which is good to see. It's a new evolution. Like you said, right? It is something we needed. We got Stow under Moyes, and it's a sad way to see the way he went out. But thank you very much for what he gave us, and now we just move on and look forward to this season.
Yeah, he's definitely he's obviously definitely identified what we need. He's obviously gone out and spent a lot of money on a centre back that he's worked with before. Obviously, the players that we're linked with are a lot of, I know apart from the German striker who's 31 or something like that, but the others are quite young, Duran and Summerville. So, yeah, it's exciting. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the club.
Yeah, I mean, I was skeptical about Lopetegui at first when we linked with him. Worried about more the style of play than the quality, because I'd been hearing that and seen a little bit of him at Wolves, but it was a relegation battle in Wolves that he took over and rescued them. But I was concerned that we were sort of just going to go into more of the same. But hearing him talk, hearing the players, what they've said about how much they're enjoying the style of football they're playing, the pressing in training, getting to see some of it in pre-season, the 1-2 touch passing, moving the ball a lot quicker, a lot more high tempo. Yeah, I'm really excited for Lopetegui. Really excited. Like, again, so much positive stories coming out from the players and feedback on the manager, which is what you want to hear. Kudus was raving about him, Sufal. Listen, I'm always skeptical. You got to go
as well. It seems a long time ago now, but I was out on the night of the Champions League final up London, and I spoke to a few Real Madrid fans, and I just said about Lopetegui, and they seem to like him. They seem to rate him. So, and I think there's been a lot of good words said about him from Wolves fans when he was there. So, as I said, it's fresh ideas. Players that were not getting a chance last season might get a chance this season. You know, work hard, new manager, new signings. It can't be any worse than last season, really, in the league wise, anyway. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, like, we've been so active and moved so quickly in the transfer window. I think it was like last season, our first signing was like the 10th of August. We've already made 2. Well, 3 if you count the keeper, and we're about to make a 4th. So, yeah, really impressive. Obviously, Stuyton has come in and taken the reins, and he's working with Lopetegui, and obviously that's why we got Kilman in. That seemed to be a big Lopetegui ask, which is, I think a big improvement of what we've got. Like I say, he was a captain. He was on the cusp of England. I thought the price is a bit steep, but I trust, Lopetegui. He obviously works with him. He trusts Kilman. That's the player he wanted. Leadership at the back. So, I think that's a solid signing to start with.
And the thing is with Kilman as well, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets the armband next season off of Zuma. I think, as you said, he obviously worked with him at Wolves. It was his number one target. We needed someone at the back to come in because you've only got to look at the Dagenham and Redbridge highlights to see Kurt Zuma walking off at half-time with 2 ice packs on his knees to tell you that he ain't going to last that many games next season. Obviously, Mavropanos is a bit hit and miss. Some weeks he looks good, some weeks he looks dodgy. I think the one I'm looking forward to is maybe seeing him and Aguerd, because Aguerd ain't looked that bad in pre-season. We know he's a decent player. He lost a lot of confidence last season. So, someone just said that Alvarez will be captain. I can't see that. I can't see Alvarez being captain.
I honestly, I think it would be Bowen. I could see Bowen being captain. He signed he's committed his long-term future to the club. I know you sign long deals, some people don't rate him. I honestly, I think he'd be just fine as a captain. But
it's nothing against Alvarez either. I love Alvarez, and if he was captain, I think it'd be a good shout. But I just think I just fancy he'll give the armband to Kilman next season.
I think Kilman will probably be. I mean, we may see some Kilman Aguerd combinations. I think there'll be, because I think Kilman plays on the left centre back as well, so they might be competing. Because I know we are still in for a centre back, because on the right hand side it's like you said, it's Zuma or Mavropanos, and Zuma. It's crazy. He's only 29. But like I said, I think that's the sort of sign. Gilherm, I don't know anything of what to expect. That was like we spent 25 mil on a young Brazilian from the Brazilian league.
It's an investment.
Some people are saying it could be the next Neymar that we missed out on all those years ago. But they must see something in him.
But that's it, mate. That signing is more of a potential. You're looking at the long term of that one. He could hit the ground running. It could take him a year to adapt in the Premier League. It's a tough one, but that's an investment.
To pay 25 mil, though, Scott, they must be confident that he will, even if it's not this season, in the coming season, he will come good.
Exactly, and that's what you're thinking. If that sort of age, the quality that he's meant to possess, you're trying to get yourself a little diamond in the rough, and give him the experience that he needs in the Premier League. And look, it's one of those where you get him in, sign him for 25 million. If the gamble's correct, 3 or 4 years down the time, you're selling him for 80, 90 mil. Do you know what I mean? We're not. It's the progression of young footballers. It's trying to bring this in. It's going back to that model of what we Moyes turned around and come out with was last season, the season before, with the Red Bull model. Getting young, exciting, talented players in and eventually making a profit on them while improving the team and the squad at the same time. So, look, this is a major rebuild for us. It seems weird because we said that quite a while, but when you look at, Oggy's gone out the door. He's a fantastic servant for the club, great player. Like we said, Zuma's at 29 looks like he's on his last legs. He ain't going to be able to play the amount of games that we're going to require him to do. So bringing in Kilman was a great signing on that. And instead of having a gamble with a youngster, you could afford that. We've got wingers. We've got players that can play in that position. The Bowens, the Pakatars. If we get Summerville in, he's another great signing for me. This is the thing. There's competition for places, and the squad depth's improving.
Just quickly going on the Ogbonna situation, I hope at the first home game they bring him out to give him a send-off, because I thought like him just leaving the football club with not having a send-off, like he was there a long time, great servant, great character, and I hope that they do bring him back before the game, just to, so everyone can give him a little round of applause, because it was a shame the way he just sort of left out the back door, didn't he? And there hasn't been. I know he done the little video and that, but yeah, no, I agree with you, Scott. I mean, the young Brazilian lad, I've only seen a glimpse of him in the first pre-season game that we played. But yeah, as you said, one for the future. So I don't think he'll be a first team regular, but you never know. You never know. He's Brazilian, so he must have some sort of skill.
Well, it's interesting because I think he's he can play anywhere. Obviously, behind a striker, I think he can play up front, but I think he's predominantly a left winger. It seems very similar to Summerville, and they're quite close in age. So that is interesting. I think maybe Summerville came up and they just couldn't pass it by.
The thing is, Dan, is like what I was saying with the squad size. Our squad last season was very, very thin.
Yeah. You can have a bigger squad out of Europe than when we were in it. I think I said to you.
But this is it. This is the thing. And if you're looking at that, you want 2 players for every position. Realistically, you want competition for players. You want players, and signing Summerville. I think he's a little bit older, but he's got a bit more Premier League experience. I think was he Leeds' best player in the Championship last season.
Yeah,
and I'm sure when Leeds were in the Premier League, when they were playing badly, he was part of the team that nearly ripped us a new one, but we luckily got a result up there.
I think he got like 20 goals in 46 games last season, 9 assists. So he's an exciting player. A
lot of people say he was the best player in the Championship last season.
From what I'm reading, it's medical's done. It should be announced probably tomorrow. So I think it'll be a good signing, good addition to the team. Someone who's probably going to look to start. A bit of competition in the team. It was nice to see Bowen and Paqueta back in the squad today. Areola as well. So they've joined up. So the season starts in 2 weeks. It's mad to think that like next week's the Charity Shield, and then it's the Premier League starts against Villa at home. So it's about now trying to get a couple of signings, because we ain't got to panic and get all our signings in now. We still got the window shut end of August. So or beginning of September, where it is. So as long as we get 2 or 3 players in,
But we're also...
I'm starring the comments, by the way, everyone. So we'll take some comments soon. But don't worry, I'm starring these. And so if you have questions, some of the questions I noticed, it will come up, because a few people, in fact... let me get to this, actually, because it brings me up. A few people have asked about Wan-Bissaka, which is seems to be the next closest signing. Terms have apparently been agreed with Wan-Bissaka, and it's just trying to nail down that transfer fee with Man United, who's dropped their asking price. I think we're trying to get it as close to 10 million as possible, and they're trying to get it as close to 20 million as possible. So yeah, a bit of a bargain. They paid 50 for him.
Yeah, be a great signing. when we was linked with the Bayern Munich right back and Wan-Bissaka, straight away I thought, yeah, I'd rather have Wan-Bissaka. I like him. I think he's done well when he's played for United. He's good going forward. I think he'll be an improvement on Sufal. Bit of competition as well. And he brings pace. You know, he can tackle. So, yeah, I think if we can get that deal done, I think it'll be an exciting addition to the team. And it will definitely boost that back four, especially down the right.
Yeah, I think a lot's been made of his ability going forward. I think it's some of the talk has been a bit over the top. People act like he's completely useless going forward. I think he is stronger defensively than offensively. I don't think as bad as they make it. But I do think Sufal is probably better going forward, and I think that can play into what Lopetegui said. I think in one of his early interviews, and people ask him, "Oh, are you going to play attacking football?" And I think he pretty much said, like, listen, the teams that we can play attacking football against will play attacking football. But the teams, certain teams, i.e. Man City's, your Liverpool's, we're going to play a different way, which is what we've all asked for as a fan. Not a manager that's going to play defensive no matter who you play against, not a manager that's going to play attacking no matter who you play against. But that feeds into it because then you have, okay, we want to play more attacking. You have your Sufal on, and we want to play more defensive. You have Wan-Bissaka, so it gives him options and, different setups.
But so I think Man United need the money as well because they're looking at selling McTominay as well for only 20 million. Where last season when we was linked with him, they wanted 45, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
They're in that situation now where we could take a little bit of advantage. Because I said to Scott the other day when we was linked with this Bayern Munich right back, big clubs like Bayern Munich, they don't let players go for that cheap. Look, we had the same situation with Kehrer from PSG, and he didn't last that long at West Ham. Big clubs don't let good players go, especially on the cheap. So when we was linked with him, I wasn't that excited. I'm not saying he wouldn't do well at West Ham. Sometimes it might work out well, but I just think for me, Wan-Bissaka, I would prefer him.
The thing is, as well, he's more proven, and he's got Premier League experience. He is a good player. You see the in the FA Cup final. He had an absolute stormer. So it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense to sign that type of player. It's. I said he's a bit more of an aerial threat than Sufal as well. And a lot of people criticise Sufal going forward, saying he ain't that great. It's just one of them things. I just think he's a very good player.
Last season in the league, I think
exactly.
That's as a right back, great.
It's an intelligent signing. Said proven Premier League experience, decent defender, can get forward. A lot more about him than what we had with Ben Johnson. It's one of them. I think if Johnson hadn't stayed, then I don't think we would have gone and got another right back. I think he would have provided enough cover for Sufal. But it's good again, good competition.
Yeah. That's what we want, So listen, to get him for that price, because originally, I think initially he wanted to go Inter, Milan. That fell through, and we've come in. So like I said, bargain. The other option was Carl Walker-Peters, who you don't rate, Scott. So I'm sure you're very happy.
Yeah, mate. You got to be looking at Wan-Bissaka over Carl Walker-Peters all day long.
Yeah, 100%. Let me get some comments in. I'll read I think I did start a couple of Wan-Bissaka ones. I'll get to them first because it's relevant. We had a horrid defense last season. We need defenders like what Wan-Bissaka is. Yeah, that's a good shout. El Chico says Aaron Wan-Bissaka's attacking ability is irrelevant in my opinion. The issue we have is that our defense can't defend. Aaron Wan-Bissaka would allow Jared Bowen and Mohamed Kudus to get forward without worrying about having to get back like they had to cover for Sufal. I mean, there is obviously today is football. It's become such a trend, isn't it? Like how your right back is, they have to attack more than defend. But if you've got quality wingers, then you can have them a more defensive
But as well, it's you want them to build relationships with the players in front of them. You know, you look at the relationship that Emerson and Paquetá had down that left hand side, the understanding they had with each other. You know, we never really had that down the right hand side. You know, I think because I think Kudus coming in, it was learning to play with alongside Soufal, and I think as well with Bowen and Soufal had a bit more of an understanding than what you see Kudus and Soufal with. And it's just building them relationships with the players in front of you. It's what we need, more fluidity in the side, and I think that's what these players coming in do give us.
The one thing I would say,
sorry, Dan,
I worry about.
I just noticed a few notifications. I don't think this has gone live on Twitter. I think there's an issue with a Twitter thing, so this is only live on YouTube at the moment. So yeah.
To be fair, like we don't get much views from Twitter because it's such a crap way to watch a stream. If everyone's ever tried to watch a live stream through Twitter, every time I see it, I've got to just go to YouTube.
Yeah, just click on the YouTube link.
Yeah, most people would. I put that up. So but we'll reshare it. No, I was saying, the only issue is with Bowen, obviously, like it's a cut inside, like he does. It does mean, obviously, if Wan-Bissaka's playing, that width and the crosses from the right are going to be a lot less with him playing over Soufal. So that's one element and dimension we'll miss.
But this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. It's just a new manager wants to play a different way. You know, like you said, if we do sit there and attack teams we should attack, we'll see one lineup. When we're defending against teams who we should be defending against and putting bodies behind the ball, we'll see another one. It's what we've been crying out for. You know, loads of, for the past 2 or 3 seasons, even with winning the Conference League, is what we've been crying out for. But, you know, we saw highlights or flashes of what we can do. You know, last season, the game against Leverkusen, you know, that first half there, playing on the front foot, playing the higher press, playing the higher line, you know, that we can cause teams problems. And we didn't see that enough last season. And I feel now that hopefully with this manager, we'll start seeing that when we do in the games that we need to be playing that type of football.
Yeah, I think it's important as well is that like we just got to be a bit patient with Lopetegui because it might not, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to his style. You know, he might want to try things and it might not work. You know, it might hit the ground running straight away and we might, but if we do go 2 or 3 games, maybe not pick up a result, we can't have all this negativity where jumping on his back straight away. You've got to give him a bit of time because you know there's people out there waiting to jump on his back. You know, you can't do that. You know, whether he was your first choice or whatever, it don't matter. He's the man in charge, and you just gotta get behind him. Like, give him a chance. It might. I'm hoping that we beat Villa first game of the season. Then we've got who we got? We've got Palace. Is it Palace?
Yeah.
Palace. We've got Chelsea, City coming up. So it's a tough start for any manager. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I am looking forward to seeing his style, seeing what he can do. I've seen a glimpse of it in pre-season, but you can't really take too much notice of pre-season. Pre-season is about getting fit and getting ready. You can lose every pre-season game, but you win the opening day of the season. Who cares about pre-season? Mm-hmm. You know, who gives 2 shits about pre-season results? It's about fitness. But obviously, I want to see us win every game we play.
Yeah,
but I'll take 5 defeats in pre-season if we beat Villa on the opening day.
Yeah. I've been more taking note of the style of play over the actual wins and performances, just seeing what he's trying to do. But you're right, like Lopetegui, like it's a new manager coming in, completely different style of play from the previous manager, rebuild. He needs time. He needs multiple windows, you know, to really get his players in. And it's a project. It's a new project, and projects need time. Of course, if it's like, you know, really disastrous, like, what was the Frankie de Boer like? You know, you start to panic stations.
It's probably a blessing in disguise for him that we haven't got European football this season. It's 1 game a week. You know, it gives him time to build up. You know, if he'd have had European football, it might be you're thinking, oh, yeah, you need more players in. It's going to be 2 games a week, Thursday, Sunday again. But no, maybe as much as I loved European football and I want to see us in Europe, maybe having a season out of it, trying to build up to get back into it through the league positions. And, Yeah,
it's made some signings hard to get over the line, but ultimately, I think it's probably for the best with not got that extra game to focus about. Roy says, I flew across the pond and had dinner with Nicky and you lot just been on a bullshit holiday. I did not know this. I'm gutted. I've missed out on this. I did not know. Something in the back of my mind says like ages ago you mentioned you was coming. But when you was here, I would have loved to meet you, Roy. I think we'd have loved to have a pint with you.
To be fair, mate, I didn't get the invite, so
no, neither did I. Yeah, we didn't know, Roy. But next time you're over, make sure that we know, and we'll definitely buy you a drink, mate. So yeah, let's see it. Matt Powell wants to know where that picture of you and Graham was, Scott.
Is he froze or is he just nervous?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. He has froze. He's froze.
Or is he thinking, oh shit, what photo they've caught us?
Yeah, he's been caught. Shit. he's actually not frozen. He's pretending. He's just.
He's very nervous there because I don't know whether he is frozen or not.
we'll get to some of the upper. Miss Amaret said she was gutted to see Divine leave. Mavama. Yeah, it was a shame. We had our hopes for him. He didn't want to sign a new deal, but he could just be one of. We've seen so many of them come and go, haven't we? The sort of promising strikers that don't really. Where did he end up? Even actually,
I don't know where he's gone. Well, I think he was linked with someone abroad, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure it might have been France.
But I was gutted as well because I like the look of him. I just thought if he was given a chance, and especially with Lopetegui coming in, new manager. But look, if he's made up his mind, he wants to leave and maybe drop down a division or wherever to go and get games every week, then fair play to him.
Yeah, I think Sunderland are in for him, but
okay.
Yeah, I wish him all the luck. He seemed like a great lad, so I wish him all the luck in the world. See how Scott does. You annoyed we sold Flynn Downs. I thought he would be a first team starter this season. I really wanted to see him get a chance under Lopetegui, Flynn Downs. I was glad. The price is good what we got for him, but I was a bit disappointed. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I thought he could have.
Yeah, no, I was gutted, mate. To be fair, I thought he would have maybe come in this season. I know. Look, I reckon if Southampton didn't come up, I think he would have wanted to stay. But Southampton in the Premier League, he helped him get up. And look, he's going to play every week now. Good player, when he got a chance. I was gutted, but we got good money for him, and hopefully we invest that. And
and he's got a medal, a winner's medal with West Ham with his boyhood club. So
yeah, exactly. Good luck to him. Just not good luck when he plays against us.
No. Well, do you know what? I expect him to be sick that day, or I just love that their promotion parade when he give it the irons.
No, I know.
Did not like that.
Yeah, that's when he done that. I thought to myself, "Oh, he's staying. He wants to stay." But
So Daniel Fleming says, Gilworm, I'm excited for. He has a lot of pace and good young gem from Brazil. Definitely needs to be given time to adapt. Yeah, hopefully he can get some minutes off the bench. Pace is what we've lacked. So, he probably just needs that rawness tuned a bit, tweaked.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate, 100%.
This is an interesting one from Dino. Is Souček a starter, bench warmer, or out the door? What do you reckon? I'm so interested in Souček under Lopetegui. Like,
I don't know. The thing is with Souček is when he plays, I know he gets a lot of criticism, but when he don't play, we miss him. He's one of them players.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm trying to think. Looking at what we've got now, he probably starts.
Yeah, I think it depends how Lopetegui is going to utilize him. To be honest, maybe he's going to be like a Fellaini role off the bench. Last minute if we're chasing something, he can be in that role. But I don't want to see him playing with Alvarez. I don't want to see him being a centre midfielder, and he's just not good on the ball. And if we're trying to play on the ball more and pass, and that is the thing from the passing that I've seen the team do in pre-season, I can't see Souček, and I hope he proves me wrong, but I just can't see him being able to pull that off in the midst of a high intensity game in the Prem.
Yeah, I think that with Souček, I think what he needs to do next season is just break up the play and give it to someone straight away instead of trying to take it forward. And, hello, mate, you all right?
Maybe then he is the Alvarez backup. Then maybe that's his role, because that's kind of what you'd have Alvarez doing. So maybe you have him as the backup to Alvarez if we can't get another defensive midfielder. You know?
We're talking about Souček, Scott.
All right, yeah. But the Czech Perlo, the way he played for his country in the Euros, you know what I mean? It's mental. But look, listen, decent squad player. Always will be a decent squad player.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's like, he's one of them players, Scott, that he frustrates you when you play, but when he don't, you miss him.
Yeah. He gives a lot. He gives his all the way through. He's a goal threat. He's a defensive, set pieces and like that. His headering ability. He has a part to play within the squad. And that's how I look at it. He has a good part to play. And this is what we need. Alvarez is the starter in that holding midfield position, by far. But he does pick up a lot of yellow cards, so you're going to need someone else who can play there. But also, Souček gives you that box to box. And again, if you look at it, the teams that we're going to play,
Scott, I don't think he's a box. People say that, and I've said this time and time again. He's a box to box in terms of he goes in one box and he heads the ball. And he goes in another box and he heads the ball, but he's not going to progress the ball from one box to another box for you, is he? Like the midfield, as a box-to-box midfielder, he's not taking the ball and going to progress the ball from one box to the other.
He's not going to drive and be he's not going to drive with the ball and be dynamic with the ball. Of course not.
Or even pass or make a cutting part in any way progress the ball meaningfully from the one box to another. He can just defend in one box and he can attack in the other box. I don't think that makes him a box.
I think you're doing him a bit of a disservice, mate, to be honest.
He's not a ball carrier, is he? He's not like someone like what Declan used to do when he get the ball down and run with it. But I could sort of get both your points of views on that one. I'm doing a squat and I'm sitting on the fence with that one.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
but this is the thing, and like you said, if you're lining up to play a team where you're going to be a bit more defensive, there may be times where you want to play two holding midfielders. So you've got that in Souček. Look, he is a goal threat. The quality that he brings in the air and with his head, he is a goal threat. So it's worth just keeping him there. And you needed a goal with 15 minutes left to go. You can chuck him on set pieces.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The thing is, when you sit and look at it and the players that we've got coming in and the squad that we've got, trying to pick a midfield is very, very difficult.
Yeah, we'll see. Apparently, according to El Chico, we have a new defensive midfielder coming in from Real Betis. I didn't know anything.
I can't remember his name. He's an Argentinian international. He played in the Copa America. He won the World Cup. Yeah. He's a free transfer as well, so I do like a free transfer. You can't go wrong with him.
Yeah, that's it. Except those pesky agent fees.
Unless he's on about 300 grand a week. But that's it. Rodriguez.
Right, Scott, you tried to run away the first time. And right, we're bringing this back from that power. Scott, I saw a photo of you and Graham a few weeks back. Where were you?
How far back we going?
A few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks. It was a couple of weeks ago. We was at Fulk Park. A couple of weeks back, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I've spent most of my summer with that man in the pub watching England.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's it. Graham gets around, mate. He's been with Ryan quite a bit in the pub. Me and him have been different places. Yeah.
I was with him the other night. We was in the pub having a catch up with a couple of other mates, and the night got away. And before I knew it was like nearly 12 o'clock. I thought, I've got to go work tomorrow. Graham's walking out with a cheeky little Baileys.
Good on him.
Rumor has it, mate, he was out on my birthday having a birthday drink for me, but without me.
Because you can't make it. It's too far for you.
So this one, I think we might get to, that might be a good one in. It's a bigger question, lads. What are your expectations for this season. Adam from the pod is quite worried. I think that's a big one. We'll sort of get to the end. This is an interesting opinion on Moyes' comments, Scott. I don't know if you saw this, Scott, but he basically come out and said, I was the manager of West Ham for years, and I don't know what the West Ham way is, and that has ruffled some feathers of the West Ham fans.
Yeah, he's not the first manager to say that. Sam Allardyce said the same thing. It's just one of them things. Unless you're in the West Ham world, sort of as a fan, the West Ham way for me is what I grew up watching. Exciting football, exciting. You get one or two exciting players, But yeah, look, the managers like David Moyes, they don't play like that. They're about getting results and staying in the league and trying to progress up the league. They think about the next game. The West Ham way is people say it goes back to the 70s and 80s, even before that. But yeah, Moyes is going to have opinions. I've seen a couple of podcasts that Moyes has done since he's left the club, and he's come across quite well and spoke very highly of us. So I'm not going to sit here and slate the man. I don't think he really slates the club as much. Don't slate the fans as much. So I think we just need to. That's it now. Moyes is gone. He's always part of our history. Won us a trophy. It's a new era now.
The problem is the West Ham way is like, it's how you look at it. You want to see the players giving their all. You want to see attractive football. You want to see us playing the ball on the floor. That was when you look at when you go back to Allardyce era and all that, it was hoofball. And Moyes, in a way, the defensive mindset, the low block, in times a bit of hoofball, and that's not the West Ham way. You want to see players getting stuck in. You want to see players giving you all. You want to see that free flowing football that we probably haven't in the past good few years. We haven't really seen. I think that's what you're looking for me. That's what I class the West Ham way. You want to see the passion. You want to see.
Like if I was to say when was the last time I thought, you say the West Ham way is, I think that we played that type of football in lockdown when we had Lingard, Cornells. Yep. We're ripping teams apart. So
I'll be honest, mate. Even in the Allardyce era, when we had that purple patch where he had to play Saka and Valencia up top and put Stuart down in behind.
Sullivan said you've got to play the West Ham way or you're gone.
Yeah, and we did, and it worked. And it was just unfortunately managers revert back to type. You saw that with.
Well, he was told he weren't getting a new deal, so he went stuff your West Ham way.
I just think that obviously West Ham fans, we want to see the West Ham way, but managers want to play their way. Like they want to play the Moyes way, the Allardyce way, the Pardew way, the Bilic way. Under Bilic, we played exciting football at sometimes. But what we had a talent in Payet that would drag us through games. So it's about when you get the right player. When you look at our forward line next season, it could be like, say, we pull off a deal for this Duran or the German striker, and then you've got Bowen, Kudus, Paquetá. You can't tell me that's not an exciting forward line. And then
but I think for Moyes, I'd take issue with Moyes' comments because look, I understand to say, look, the West Ham way. I understand the fans want attacking football. He knows what it is. To say I don't know what it is. Allardyce, when he said, "Oh, what is the West Ham way?" I don't think even they know what it is, right? I didn't go because like you've been told, what the West Ham way is. You're just being facetious because it's the antithesis of the way you play football. If that's your style and you wanted to play that at West Ham, whatever. Yeah. But it's being defensive. No pun intended, over your side of football, because you see us asking for the West Ham way and critiquing your side of football as an attack on your football philosophy. It's fine if he just says, look, they want to, go back to the way they always wanted to play or grew up seeing their team play. So I understand fans want to see that. I came in to do a job, and I think I did a good job playing the way I play. He could have said that, but I think that is a bit of a knock to say, oh, I've been a manager for years and I don't know what it is. Like, you obviously don't understand West Ham.
The thing is as well, though, Dan, is that Moyes, the way Moyes is and the fact that he's very arrogant and stubborn in his own ability and his own beliefs, he'll look at it and go, well, we played my way and won a trophy. So this is the thing, and this you can have your
Then
argument.
that's fine, but don't knock what we want to see. That's what I said. You can say, look, I came in, played my way, and I did pretty well. But I understand fans like that.
This is the thing, Dan. This is why it splits opinion, is because some people say, well, the West Ham way never won us anything. You're going to get people saying that.
It's like next season.
Well, it did, Scott. Obviously, a long time ago.
Yeah. But in recent years,
Lopetegui could play a certain way next season, but play the way that we want to see us team play, and we might not pick up results.
Mm-hmm.
It's a risk, but we want to, as fans, we want to be entertained. We're happy as West Ham fans. I remember growing up watching West Ham. As long as you went to the bowling ground and watched us put in a performance, win, lose or draw, you'd come out there and think, I've been entertained today. The problem is now, it's not an entertaining sport. Football's boring now. It's boring. Everyone plays the same way. I watch like League Two teams trying to play out from the back. It's not on. Like it's fucking. Everyone's trying to play the City way.
Yeah,
Guardiola has made a style of football that everyone's trying to play now, and everyone hasn't got the talent and the quality to do that. So it's frustrating when I watch teams try to do it, and I think, why are you doing it? League One, League Two, like even Conference League football or whatever it's called now, National League. It's just
there's no real mavericks in football anymore where you see that's what you see with like the DiCanios and that.
Someone put a thing up on Twitter the other week, and it was interesting. It was goal of the month from 2002 compared to goal of the month last season. The top 10 goals in 2002 was all screamers from outside the box, world-class goals. Last season, in the top 10 on Match of the Day, it was all tap-ins.
Yeah.
Now it's all three or four passes, and it's a goal of the week.
Yeah.
Where you go back to 2002 or whatever it was, Kevin Phillips was banging one in from 40 yards. Then the next one was Niall Quinn. The next one was Shearer. And it was like unreal goals that you don't really see that today. You look at the Euros. There was only a couple of decent goals from outside the box. All the rest was similar. Everyone is just similar now. It's all this. Everyone seems to want to play the same way.
But that's it. I will say the next managers come and revolutionise it. And, you look at Wenger when he came in at Arsenal and what he did with that Arsenal side. You just go through spells where certain teams change the mould and then everyone plays catch up, and that's what's happening with City at the minute. It's just an evolution of football.
Well, it's just less entertaining. But I will say this, Scott, where you said about, people have played the West Ham way and not won anything in recent times. How many of managers that have played the West Ham way have as nearly as much money in transfer funds as Moyes? Do you know what I mean? So it is unfair to compare fucking Zola when he played that brilliant football and got fuck all, to Moyes and, or Bilic and...
But that's the thing, Dan. When you look at it, you sit there and look at the money that Moyes has spent. Moyes has spent big money over the seasons that he was here in a period of time when transfer fees are through the roof. So you've got to look at the value of what the money is compared to what it was 5, 6, or
no. But even still, even if you adjust for inflation and all of that. And where it was where we were, as a club, and there's no way we could have competed at the time for transfers financially with anyone in the top 10.
And that's the thing. When you look at it, he was given money, but in the modern game, the money he's been given, in some respects, is standard. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing. The value of the money that we grew up with is 10 times the value now.
Yeah, but then you can't compare it, can you?
One thing I do want to see next season is don't want to see us bottle it against top 6 clubs. I want to see us go for it. I don't want to see us like David Moyes would think, right, we've got City, we've got Liverpool. We knew what was expecting. Lopetegui might go a bit like what Bilic did. Bilic didn't fear anyone, and we got results. So that's what I want to see next season. Just have a go at these teams, whether it's home or away. Just go for it. Don't sit back, soak it up, and hope to get a point.
And this is the thing, mate. When you look at some of the points we did get last season, some of the wins, the win against Brighton away from home, the win against Chelsea at home, they were games we got absolutely battered in. And luckily enough, we took our chances and they couldn't. And then when you start getting later in the season, like when we were playing against Arsenal and got absolutely annihilated, this is the thing. The Moyes football works if you've got the rub of the green, if you've got the luck around you, and you take your chances. Last season, you saw Moyes ball work in certain games, and then, like I said, when we lost to City,
that's why I don't think it's sustainable.
Yeah,
I think at the point you have to progress. It's a good building block, but if you need to come in on a transitional period, but you got to progress over that in something more sustainable.
And in a way, that's what I sort of see Lopetegui as that progression, that next step forward.
David Moyes is gone. Lopetegui era begins. Forget Moyes. It's Lopetegui's turn. Let's talk about some strikers. Let's talk about
100%. Well, that brings us into. I wanted to go to this. 100%, fully agree. I wanted to go into this comment because it leads into the strikers. There's only 7 shots on target from three preseason games. Worry you, as it worries me, even with the new striker links. I'm not too worried. Like we said, it's a new style of football he's trying to implement. We've missed Bowen, we've missed Paqueta, we've missed Alvarez. So I'm not massively worried, and we do need a new striker, and we're on the cusp of, it's coming into it. I mean, I will get into the 2 names that we're heavily linked with, but are you guys worried at all about the lack of shots? Only 7 shots on target in 3 games.
I'll be honest, mate. I haven't really watched much of the preseason games. I tried to stay up after the boxing last week and watch the Wolves game, but it got later and later and later, and I had a few wines, so I end up falling asleep. But I see the highlights the next day. Great finish from Kudus. But I haven't really seen much of pre-season, so I'm not overly worried. We definitely need a striker, 100%. So the players.
Did you see Ings teaching Ward Prowse how to take a free kick in the
super Danny Ings, mate? What a finish! But look, it is. I think Danny Ings will probably still leave in this transfer window. Obviously, with Duran, I said this the other day. Any deal for Duran is not going to get done before we play Aston Villa. Mm-hmm. They're not going to sell him to us before we play them. So it might get done after. That's maybe why they're looking at this German striker. But then there's rumours that Tim Stein was meant to have a plane there and he didn't turn up, or the plane didn't leave, or no one knows where the plane is. It's gone. I don't know. It's just we need. The thing is with Duran, he gets a lot of mixed reviews. I've seen Villa fans praising. I've seen him hate him. They want him out of the club. He ain't got the right attitude. I mean, he was on his Instagram live doing the Hammers sign, and that's not going to go down well because what happens if he don't leave the club? Mm-hmm. And it's not going to look well. But he's a young striker, 20 years old. The German striker, is it Fullkrug? Fullkrug. I think he was someone that we was linked with last season, and he chose Werder Bremen over us, and then he ended up going to Dortmund. And now Dortmund are happy to sell him. So when I look at that, I think, 2 clubs in a year, and I don't know. I don't really know much about him.
Goals last season,
yeah. Listen, he might suit us, but
the thing is as well, though, it's again that's that you bring in Duran, young striker, still got a bit to learn, still got a bit to prove, and then you've got a more experienced striker that he has got to adapt to the Premier League, but gives you a bit more experience. And again, if we're building a squad, if we're still looking at focusing and playing as a front 3 with sort of a lone striker, we know that doesn't suit Danny Ings. Danny Ings has come out and said he wants to fight for his place. Look, he ain't going to go nowhere because he's on decent money, and he ain't going to get that money anywhere else. And he does want to fight for his place in a way. But it's worrying when you look at him. You want him scoring goals, and his better games he played last season when he did play were sort of as a number 10.
Do you know what I'd like to see? Scott out and get both of them.
Well, that's the thing, mate. Yeah,
that would be a statement.
Exactly, and that's what it is, because Antonio, he's getting a bit older, but he's more. You've got that versatility. You can put him out on the wing if needed. I know he's not as quick as he was before, but you've got that option to do that.
We cannot rely on Antonio for another
No.
season. But we've been saying this for the last 5 seasons, I think, and Antonio's always been our main striker. Listen, Antonio's done a great job, and I think he'll be a great squad player. But we need to now freshen it up with someone like a young. If we do find Duran, you got to stick with him. Stick him up top. Stick with him and give him a few games.
I think it'd be good, Duran. Personally, I know Daniel says that he's 50 because he didn't get many games for Villa, but he was behind Watkins and they'd signed Diaby for big money. So, and you know, he's a young player. But
also, Bailey, is it Bailey, the other sort of attacking player that they're
winger, really?
Yeah, but it's like, you know, they were on a decent vein of form. You know, and like I said,
when he did come on, he played well. He created. He scored 5 goals, playing mostly, you know, late subs on off the bench. Every Villa fan that I've spoke to, apart from the, you know, some of the ones that are just salty, saying like he is a real talent. Like his potential is massive. Their problem is his attitude, because obviously he was unhappy with his game time. He's got this, you know, West Ham fans, we've always said we love a player with a bit of arrogance. We love a bastard, you know, that sort of personality, you know, when he's coming on, he's doing the hammers, like, of course, you know, fans are going to take to that. And it was a gamble because he could do the same thing with us. But if he comes in as the main man, I think he'll be happy. Obviously, he's going to mature as he gets older. And I think he's obviously going to have more pace. He's going to have more of an engine than a Fullkrug. He's going to be a slower player. So I think he'll be much more suited. And he's obviously more proven in the Premier League than Fullkrug. So
we spoke about this last week when we met up about Ivan Toney as well. Like, if there was any chance we could get him, would you pay that money for Duran? Who's what? Is he 8 years younger than Ivan Toney? But Ivan Toney is a proven goal scorer who obviously has got a lot to prove. Obviously, he's had his troubles with his betting scandal. Saying that, though, maybe mixing him and Paqueta in the changing room might not be a good thing. They'll be betting on each other.
We'll have to sign Tonali next and make it.
But you know what? I'll be interested to see what Lopetegui does with Paqueta, where he plays. Do you know what I mean? Because we've got wingers coming in, and I feel that I think we get more out of Paqueta playing as a 10. Or even playing, he could play centre midfield alongside Alvarez, you know.
I think his best position is a number 10.
Yeah.
I think let him dictate the game. He's the best player on the ball at the football club.
And
if he plays there, then someone is going to have to be on the bench out of Summerville or Kudus.
Yeah, get players around him that are going to put the tackles in, protect him in midfield, let him have time on the ball. He looks up and he's got the players around him like Kudus, Bowen, whoever got up top, Summerville, you know, if he signs, you know. So, yes.
I'm in two minds on Paqueta, like, if we should make him such a key focal point. Because on one hand, you know, like, he's a very talented player and he is good and he would be important. But obviously his trial is in January.
Yeah.
So if we were to make him such a key focal point and then all of a sudden January comes, he's banned, and then we've got to replace that hole rather than make him a squad player.
Yeah, but that's when we bring Souček back in.
Souček in the 10. If Lopetegui does that, I ain't giving him time. He's out.
But
Lopetegui out.
Dan, you're saying that, you know, his trial's in January. Look, if that happens and he gets banned, you want to play that guy every single game possible leading up to January and worry about it in January. You know, you can't. We never see the best of Paqueta playing, I think, for Moyes. Yeah. The way he played for Brazil in the friendly against England, the way he has played for Brazil, you see what a key role he can have in the side. And when you've got players like Kudus, like Bowen, the young Brazilian that's come in, you know, and Summerville, players like that, you need someone who can pick a pass. You know, you need someone who's just going to naturally... You go all the way back to the Conference League final. Anyone who picked up that ball at that time when Paqueta picked up that ball to play the ball, he's the man you want to do that.
Who's on the left? If he's
other players, yeah. But what I'm saying is other players are not going to see that pass. Other players are not going to have that vision. He's got that vision.
No, but I'm asking. Yeah, so I'm asking. Obviously, Bowen is undroppable on the right, pretty much, right, on the right wing.
If he's going to play on the right, yes, so Kudus has to go on the left.
Okay, so Summerville's bench.
Yeah, why not?
He's a naturally left winger. He's a natural left winger.
But is he better than Kudus?
Well, on the left, who knows? Like Kudus is quality, but as in the role of a left winger.
But Kudus has come out and said he sees himself as a number 10. So this is where you could end up having Paquetá playing alongside Alvarez, which he's done for Brazil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Playing as that sort of number 8, he does it for Brazil. He done it for Lyon at times as well. So the versatility of the player.
Some people think we'll get cut open if we play Paquetá in the 8. I've seen next to Alvarez. People think we'll get cut.
He can put a tackle in. He can put the things that he needs to cut out is the way he throws himself on the floor too much.
Yes.
You know, that's the most frustrating thing for me with him is that there's times where he can stay on his feet and he chooses to throw himself down thinking he's going to get a foul and doesn't. You know, and that's what he's got to cut out. He's got to realise you're not going to get that all the time. And as soon as you don't get that decision, get off your ass and start running. You know, instead of looking at the referee having a moan, having a pop. Do you know what I mean?
Holding on the ball too long sometimes, that's what he can do is hold on to it and not know, you know, sometimes when it's time to pass and he can lose the ball. But yeah, I think he's been really underestimated defensively. I think defensively he's fine. As a centre midfielder next to a defensive midfielder, I haven't got a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
As I said, there's so much potential in this side in what we can do. You know, we've got James Ward-Prowse, you know, who we know can play in multiple roles in the centre of midfield. You know, we saw how good he started the season. And it wasn't until Moyes tinkered with the side and changed what he was doing with him that Ward-Prowse's form dropped off. You know, so that's if you're looking at, you know, he's not a natural replacement if you're playing the Paquetá in a 10 or in an 8 or something like that. But if you're saying we're going to get Paquetá until January and then Paquetá gets banned or suspended, you're bringing in James Ward-Prowse. It's a good player to have coming in.
Breaking news. Apparently, well, I say breaking. This is that Plattenberg guy. I haven't seen him on concrete, but yeah, apparently agreement between Dortmund and West Ham about a permanent deal of Nicholas Fullkrug. Last details on bonus payments will be clarified. Transfer fee 26 million euros plus 24 million euros in add-ons. Contract offer until 2027 plus 1 year, up to 3 million euros net salary. He'll join West Ham with immediate effect. Lopetegui was pushing for him. Stuyvesant led negotiations. Fullkrug will leave Dortmund after just 1 year medical soon. So let me quickly do my.
I think it's just come up on as well that obviously it's being confirmed now that Summerville has also completed his second part of his medical, and it looks like his announcement is going to be tomorrow. So if we can get them 2 deals done over the weekend, or even by Monday, it's a great weekend for the club. 2 decent signings.
Yeah, it's exciting as well. You know, the players that are coming in seem decent players. You know, and that's the thing for me. We are taking gambles on some of the non-Premier League proven players, but these are players that are going to get you excited. You said Summerville, if we get that over the line, that is a good sign. And even though I do think he'll play second fiddle to someone, but it's an exciting player to have.
I just hope he's not another Cornet. You know, I just hope that he don't come in and he's just another Cornet where he's just. I don't think he will be. I think he's going to be more like a Ben Rama. He's going to get more chances and he's going to come in. And you see what he done for Leeds. He looks an exciting talent. So yeah, no, it's just it's good.
Yeah. But yeah, full crew. A lot of people are leave the world exclusive to.
I see that the other day. Bless you. I like Jazz.
I can't remember what it was. I remember there was an exclusive.
Duran, wasn't it? It was Duran.
Duran. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Well, clearly that's not going to pan out. I can't see us. It'd be great if we got both. Now, a lot of people are saying he's too old. Obviously, he's 31 years old.
Yeah. But again, it's what he's coming in. Is it, and the thing is as well, we keep thinking you might see us go 2 up front in games. Do you know what I mean? There's that possibility as well with these players we've got coming in.
I do understand why people are concerned about the age when you've got Antonio, who's 30. What is he? 34 now.
Yeah,
33, 34. Danny Ings is similar age. Then you just signed a 31-year-old. But then if we go out and we do pull off the Duran signing as well, you think, you've got a 20-year-old and a 31-year-old, but you've got a player that hopefully is going to be there for the next 5-6 seasons. And then you've got an older player who might be there for 2 or 3. But if you get 2 or 3 good seasons out of him, then it's a good deal. But every signing is a gamble. But this 31-year-old could be banging in goals for us.
This is it. I don't think 31. Fullkrug is a fantastic sign, great player to unleash. League up, and that's it. Is we have to see. We don't know how Lopetegui is going to play, what system he's going to play. Obviously, we've seen bits and pieces in pre-season, but he could fit perfectly what obviously Lopetegui is pushing for him. But I don't think 31 is that old in football today, in this day and age. I just think people look at sell-on value. Oh, he's got no sell-on value. But for me, I'm looking in what can he do for West Ham now? We're in a transitional period. We want some young players that we can build with, and we've been doing that. Summerville, Gilherm, obviously Wan-Bissaka is 26. He's a lot younger than Soufal. So we're bringing youngsters in, but you can't just bring youth in. You need experience. And up top, that is experience. He's a proven goal scorer, Champions League, scored in the Euros.
But that's it. You're bringing him for a different dynamic of football. It's like the comment there with the link-up play. You need players who are going to link up to your Kuduses, your Summervilles, your Bowens, and players of alike. Who are going to be able to.
It's mental when you put it like that. 31, he's our youngest striker at the club. That's mental when you put it like that.
But this is the thing, these if we do end up getting the 2, which I can't really see us doing that, but then you're going to be letting Danny Ings go, whether he wants to stay and fight for his place or not. You're going to be getting rid of him out the door, and
Danny Ings is on a lot of money. Scott, he's 125 grand a week. It's not happened for him at West Ham for whatever reason. It's just not happened for him. He could go Southampton and bang in goals, but that's just what happens in football.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And that's again the comment. This comment. Look at Giroud. Put him in a side that suits his style of play. When he went to Chelsea, it suited his style of play. The way they played, and it weren't just about him getting the goals. It was the movement he made, the link-up play that he had with the other players around him benefited the team. And you do want your striker to be banging on the door, getting you 20 goals a season. But if he can get 10, 15 goals in the season, but then also get link up with the side so that the players around him get another 10, 15 goals and the like that, it's adding to the team dynamic. When you look at us over recent years, it's been get the ball forward to Antonio. Hope Antonio could hold on to the ball, try and link it. The amount of time that you see the ball bounce off of Antonio when he needs to be holding it up. Bowen, again, playing up front, he's done a fantastic job. But for me, I much prefer Bowen with the ball at his feet, driving at players, getting it from deep, running at players. And I think Bowen thrives from that more than he does playing as the lone striker up top by himself. So it's just a different dynamic of players.
Yeah, it's the fee I think is quite high, but I'm not bothered about the fee, what we spend, as long as it means we get what we need in the transfer window. I'll be looking back on what we've spent on certain players at the end of the window, going, well, do you know what I mean? We could have probably got better value elsewhere, and then got another centre back in or another centre midfielder in. So now, look at it as it's high, but if he comes in, we play to his strengths. Imagine that, playing to a striker's strengths. Then I'm all for it. He could be that transitional striker, get a young one coming in. We'll see. But I'm there's no reason for me to shit on it because again, we don't know. He could be perfect for us. And as long as next few seasons, imagine he fires us back into Europe. And then when we're in Europe, these players that are turning us down because we ain't got no European football, we're able to get some of the more ambitious signings in. And then
this is it. And yeah, I was having a chat with Graham the other week, and it's what Stight and Noble and the like are selling. At the end of the day, if you're looking to say to these players coming in, like we said with the younger players, and you look at them taking that bit of a gamble, you can still attract them because as much as we had a poor season, there were times when we was knocking on the door of European football again, qualifying for it. We've had a good run in Europe over the past 3 seasons. So if you're then getting these players in, look, okay, we're in a bit of a transition. We're looking to push for European football again, qualify for European football. You're going to be playing, you can... You become the stage. Do you know what I mean? West Ham becomes the stage for these young players to cut it, learn to cut it in the big leagues, and we get good out of them. And okay, if we don't get that European qualification or we don't get European football on a regular basis, and these players want to go, we then get good money for them. So it's a good business to look at because either way you're benefiting. And one of the comments there said, Rome weren't built in a day. Having players coming in with that experience gives you that stopgap that you can allow these young players to then progress and to improve. And if they are a bit of a gamble, do you know what I mean? If it flourishes and you get them diamonds like we had with Lanzini that first season, he come in like a Payet, you get them, boost the profile of the club get better. These players improve, they're in the shop window all the time. As much as we are not going to be competing with the likes of Cities, Arsenal's, Man United's like that. So we've got to do what's right for us. And what's right for us is to be pushing for that top 6, pushing for European football and finding these young talented players, getting them in on the cheap and flogging them 4 or 5 seasons down the line for 100 million. It's possible to do, and it's possible to win things while still doing that.
There we go. But it's like I said, I'm seeing a lot of comments in there. Some questions, but there's a lot of mixed opinions on Fullkrug. So proof will be, in how he does. So it'd be interesting. And Tyler says if Villa can't sell Duran now, I bet they'll regret their stance on their price. Absolutely. And I think even if we don't get him this season, if Villa don't sell him, we can always go back in for him next season at a low. It will have to be a lot lower price because he'll have 1 year less on his deal. He probably would have played even less football, if they're getting someone else in. It'll be interesting. But silly of Villa. Like we were offering like 32 mil, even up to 35, and they rejected it. So, I can't stand them. Absolutely can't stand them. Change of subject. Have you heard about Steve McLaren being named Jamaican manager? I was really gutted it weren't Steve Bruce because I think Steve Bruce is a better fit for Cool Runnings. Like. I can see him look more like John Candy than Steve McLaren. But Steve McLaren, do you remember when he was the manager in Holland and he did the Dutch accent? I need him to do the Jamaican accent now. I need to see that.
That's all we need. But I think that Antonio will probably retire from international football now, knowing that he's got fucking Steve McLaren as his manager. But it's a weird one, isn't it? But.
Good luck to him at the end of the day. Look, they need someone to help them out. I don't get McLaren as a manager anyway. I don't think he's very good. He's a good coach, always been a good coach, but as a manager, I don't think he's.
I could just see him on the touchline with won their match, with the dreadlocks on.
I'll tell you what, he is a massive, massive upgrade on the manager coach they had previously. That guy was horrendous. And the football he played would have fucking, honestly, make Big Sam look like Pep. Like, it was just hoof it up to Antonio. Every chance you get, hoof it up to Antonio.
Fucking hell, sounds like Moyes.
That's it. That's the thing, it gives him a bit something different. I said he is a good coach. I'm not going to knock his coaching ability. He's just not a great manager.
Yeah, no, 100%. So good luck to him and good luck to Jamaica. So Roy says it's about quality for money. Sufal was an exceptional value for cheap. Bowen was ridiculous value. Sometimes you pay more, but the quality is there. Agree, mate. So what happened to the N'Golo Kante rumor? I think he's comfortable and they don't want to sell. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I think we would have taken him. West Ham would have, but I think one of you are you lot boycotting the Betway? Apparently 11,000 now sold plus 2,500 given to local kids on a rating of 1 to 10. How disgusting would you say the concessions changes are?
10. Yeah. It's disgusting. I don't even know where to start with this. I know we haven't really had a chance to speak about it, but it's an absolute embarrassment. It's another kick in up the arse for the fans. They're not only upsetting the generation that have been following them, but now they're upsetting the future generation that are being priced out of going to watch their local football team. And honestly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing from the club, but it doesn't surprise me. I've learned a lot about that football club over the last year. One of the main reasons why I never renewed my season ticket. It's not the same football club for me anymore. I'll always love West Ham. I always will. They are my team. But that club is just an absolute joke. And what they're doing, pricing kids out, kids should be excited. Parents should be excited to take their kids. I remember the first time I took my daughter, so excited. Scott, you've taken your boy. Nicky takes Jamie. It's about giving them that experience. You remember when you were kids going football with your parents. It's embarrassing. It's a joke, but it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me in modern day football.
Unfortunately, mate, that is the thing. It's the modern day football, and it's pathetic. It's stopped me from being able to get Cody a season ticket. Because to have him sitting next to me, he's going to cost me an adult price. There's no excuse for it. It's just pure greed. It earns us an extra 600. Is it 600 grand a season? Which
you was going to buy him a season ticket this season as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
My uncle.
If they want to earn 600 grand a season, they could do that in a month by just selling Danny Ings and using his wages on 125 grand a week.
The thing is, mate, it's because it goes down as pure profit. That's why they do it. It's all pure profit,
mate.
But it's not. The thing is, it's not only the kids. They've done it with the over 60.
They're putting all the old people. Oh, you want to come? You got to walk up 300 flights of stairs and go to the back of the stadium to watch.
And that's the thing.
They should be looking after them older people that have been supporting the club for years, up and down the country. They should be. They shouldn't be sticking them up the top, moving them out of the way. They should be proud to have them front and centre, showing the generations of football fans. But as I said, mate, with who's in charge of the club and some of the people that work for the football club that I've come across in the last couple of months, they're useless. They don't give a fuck about the fans. And I've learned that.
Yeah, I've learned that. The thing is, why as well, is they don't care because we've been successful with winning the Conference League, but they know as well as you know now, modern day, if we don't go or we don't renew our season tickets or anything like that, or like when same as when we don't go to a game down and if we sell our ticket back to the club, they know that there's someone out there that's going to pay £100 to go and watch West Ham Manchester City.
It's not even the ticket prices, mate. It's that me, you, and Dan won't go in the club shop after and spend £200.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to. They know that but even that, they don't care who they then sell that ticket to.
You say that, Scott, but I saw something from Sean today, which was interesting. That because someone was asking about the capacity, right? We've got the possibility to go up to like nearly 67,000 with the upper seats, like the lower seat in areas been increased. And someone was asking, is there plans to do that? And people are like, we're just waiting for the demand to be there. And I was thought, hang on, what about this massive waiting list that we keep getting told about?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
50,000 that are waiting to get in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We haven't. We got to wait for demand to open up the extra few seats in the upper tier. So you say there's someone there, Scott, but surely if they were, they'd just open up the rest of the seats.
But then there's someone there because they sell it to away fans. Like I said, they don't care who gets the seats, as long as the seats filled and they earn their money. We see it when you play, when you see the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, Man City. You see opposition fans in our end. You see tourists coming in to watch the game because they've seen the likes.
Breaking news! Bloody hell! London buses. This Guido Rodriguez is here. We go from Fabrizio Romano. I believe that's the midfielder. Yeah. So West Ham book medical for Guido Rodriguez on Saturday. Then time to sign the contract. Rodriguez available as a free agent after leaving Betis, and Barca verbal agreement collapsed in June.
Oh, what's happened?
Now Dan's frozen out.
And got back, sorry, look.
Yeah, he can't take the breaking news.
I'm worried now when I'm going to freeze. But yeah, no, look, while we're waiting for Dan to unfreeze, I don't he's back. He's back, Dan.
Yeah. My internet went. Yeah. Did you get that? Did you get the breaking news?
We got the breaking news. Mate.
We got the breaking news, and then you froze like Scott.
Yeah. But yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's two players ready to be booked in for
decent
medicals.
Free transfer as well.
Yeah.
Another decent squad player.
I mean, it'd be a good sign, another addition to the squad
for him. So
going back to like what we was talking about, like my mate this season, he's give up season ticket as well. He's been taking his two boys for the last 2 years, and they've loved it. And for him to renew this season would have cost he'd have had to pay like over £1,500 just for 2 season tickets for his two boys. Like that's without he's one. So where do you justify that he was paying £110 last season for him or whatever, and then now he's got to pay £670, and he's had to give it all up. And he said, if they can't go, I'm not going.
Well, the thing is, mate, I think a lot of people will not renew this season.
It's they're getting fed up with it, Scott. I haven't renewed for other reasons, but I will go when I can next season. But now I go when I want to go. That's how I feel. And as I said, I'll never lose my love for West Ham. I'm still going to do this channel. I'm still going to talk and moan about West Ham, watch West Ham, go to West Ham when I can. But yeah, my feelings towards the club and certain people at that football club, and I made them aware. I told them how I felt about them. They're useless.
Yeah. And that's it, mate. And it just goes back to they just don't care. And that's the thing, they look at you. Look there, was it Chris that said about the 2,500 local children given tickets? That's to try and you're giving away 2,500 tickets to kids. All right, that's a good thing, but you're then pricing kids out of going on a regular game. It's mental, isn't it? And the thing is, for them, they'll promote that 2,500 local kids going to the game because it clicks with their we're a community club. That club ain't been a community club for a long time.
Yeah, but they won't promote all the empty seats.
No, exactly, and that's it. And this is the thing, and they'll spin it some reason why. I think what they open 2 stands that are open. I think the Bobby Moore's open and the main stand on the dugout side's open. Whether they've opened any more up now would be interesting to see. But I'm sure normally that curtain opener friendly gets a big amount. I've never been.
Hopefully, when the board and all that turn up for that Betway game, and they look around the stadium and see it so empty, it might wake them up a bit. Whether they can reverse that decision and maybe, give people some money back, I don't know if they can now. It might be too late, but maybe it'll wake them up a bit and show them that this is what you've done.
Yeah, I mean. So you're boycotting Betway. Is that's what was the question? You guys boycotting the Betway?
Yeah. Boycotting the Betway up.
Mate, it's the thing. It's the only time really as a fan that you can look. For me, I've never been to any. I think I've been to one of the Betway Cup games. I'm always either away or on holiday this time of year normally. But
you're on holiday every time of year, Scott.
yeah, I
What are
know
you talking
exactly. But yeah, so yeah, look, I wouldn't have been going anyway, but I definitely would have been going out of principle of what they've done, and it is the only time realistically that you can show that, because as a season ticket holder, right, Ryan chose to renew for the reasons. I renewed because I don't want to lose my seat. I like where I sit. I like the people I sit around. I'm a bit gutted that a couple of people haven't renewed who we sit around, but I don't want to lose that. So that's why I've renewed, and I wanted to be able to take my boy with me. And for what the club want is for me to do that. I need to go out the back. I don't want to sit out the back. The sheets are shit. The view's shit. I don't go football to sit and have to look for a pair of fucking binoculars to watch football. That's not me.
Well, the view's shit, Scott. The seats ain't shit. They're the same seats that what you sit
yeah,
on.
you know what I mean. But yeah,
Don't blame the seats.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
No,
that's not what I want. I had a 66 seat. I had a perfect seat right on the halfway line. It was a great view. I love watching football from there. But then I went down where Dan was. The atmosphere was better, and that's what I want to. That's what you want to be. You want to be amongst it. You want to be amongst the people. It's going to football's a social thing as well. You're there to support your team. You're there with like-minded people, and it's a social thing. And that's what I love. And I said that's what Cody started to come with me for games and bits and pieces, and he started to get that. He's learning more about football. He's getting more into football, and because I'm not well off, I now can't afford to do that. And if I want to buy him a ticket, say the ticket next week comes available for one game, and it's Manchester City, it cost me over £100 for one game of football. Why should I? What I'm better off doing is taking him down the local park, watching the local kickabouts, or going to a non-league side and pay a tenner to go and watch some football.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
You know what? I've never understood why certain games are dearer than the others. It should be one price. It don't matter who we're playing.
Exactly.
You're only charging that people because they're going to go and see. Remember that year when we promoted, come and see the superstars of Man City. We're playing the superstars of Man City. Like, fucking who gives a shit? Like, it's a game of football. Like, you go to non-league football, it's a tenner every week.
Yep.
People pay more for those games than they will for the other. Like, they'll pay more to go and watch us against Man City or Spurs or Arsenal than we would play against Burnley. Because people will pay it, they'll do it. But I have got the 2 new kits, so don't yell at me. I got them on my club cash. I weren't going to let them keep the club cash, and I got it without the Betway on it. Both shirts.
I actually see them the other day for the first time up close, and that home shirt is so nice. It's one of the best home shirts I've had for a long time. Just a shame of that green patch on the side.
I had it on earlier, right? I tell you what, I did. It is a lovely shirt and it fits nice, but I had it on filming and I was sweating in it. Honestly,
that thick material in it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like we've had some kits with that really light material like this. It's
interesting to see what the third kit looks like as well. So that should be coming out soon because the season starts in a couple of weeks. So be interesting. Hopefully it's like a nice light blue or white kit or something. But just that green, I don't know who made that decision to put that on there.
That's the thing. That's what really frustrates me. Is you had the white kit last season with the big JD patch on it that absolutely ruined it, and now you've got this lovely home kit with a big green patch on it.
The thing is, Scott, like fans shouldn't have to have that on their shirt. The players advertise it. That's what the companies pay the money for, to have it on the players' sleeves. Shouldn't be on the fans' sleeves. You can have it without Betway. You should be able to have it without the.
The ones I bought, they were advertised as sponsorless, and they've got a big green sponsor. And then bloody QuickBooks, when they was on Villa's shirt, it was a white logo on Villa's shirt.
So
for us, they was like, big green fucking dot.
I think that's the first. I think when
I'm anti-QuickBooks now. Boycott QuickBooks.
Yeah. I think that when Umbro were first sending them on their sites, they were without the logo. So the people that bought them off of there in the first couple of weeks got them without the logo.
That's what you should. That's what you should be able to do. You should have the choice whether you want. I think you can have the choice whether you want the Premier League badge on it or not. You should have the choice whether you want all the sponsors on it or not. They should offer that. Like you said, it shouldn't just be, well, no, you've got to have it with the shirt sleeve sponsor. Like you said, they make their money. The sponsors make their money from the advertisement they get through the TV rights. Right? They'll probably sit you will know because when you're walking around, when you walk into the game, you're advertising a brand. But we should be given the choice. You either have it with, and what it should be is cheaper to have it with, because you're advertising their brands. You know, why it's ridiculous.
Let's get to the last. We had two people ask this actually. So first, Red 5 says, "I want a series cup run next season and top 10. What's your expectations?" And then, that was the other one. And then, what are your expectations for the season?
For me, it's about Lopetegui just getting his style of football, building his squad. As you said, he'll have 2 transfer windows this season. Obviously, the summer one and the winter one. And just try to be a consistent top half team and try to hopefully break into Europe. But if we finished if we finished 8th, I'd still think that was a good season.
Yeah.
Someone said there about the cup runs, 100%. League Cup, FA Cup. You know, we know Europe this season. You might as well go for them.
This is it, mate, and this is the thing. And as we say all the time with the League Cup, it's early. You know, whatever league position you're in, that cup's finished in March, so you've still got the rest of the season to go there to get yourself out of trouble or to have a push for European football. You know, so I want to see us go for that this year and have a real go at it. You know, you got the big boys moaning about too many games of football again. So let's have a go at them sort of competitions. You know, let's try and put ourselves in the mix for it. And like I said, top 10 finish and a decent cup run is a decent season in a transition season.
I think when I was just about to say, sorry, Dan, you know, when you look around like a lot of people on YouTube and that, there seems to be a lot of positivity now because obviously Moyes was a big problem. He's gone. There are a lot of people getting behind Lopetegui. And as I said earlier, you've got to stick with him. You can't just, we lose our first 2 games or he doesn't pick up a win in the first 5 games, jump on his back, get him out. We should have kept Moyes. We need a new manager, sack him. You can't do that. You've got to give him a chance. Unless, like what Dan said, it's like a Ronald de Boer situation. And then, you might have to look at it.
That's it. It's just disastrous start. But like for me, expectations of obviously, look, predictions. We'll do a season predictions later on in the month. But I honestly think that we could get a top 10 finish and a cup run. But my expectations on what I expect Lopetegui to do for him to obviously continue to have my support would be not have us in a relegation battle in season 1, so a stable season, and better football and bring some youngsters through, more opportunities for youngsters. You know, if he does those 3 things, even if we finished 13th, I'm like, okay, that's season 1. Now build on it. I want to see some progression, even if we're losing games. But you can see what we're trying to do. We're playing better. We're not getting battered. And, you can see we just need to build on it. And then next season, I've said this before, Arsenal, they got their process that everyone kept banging about. They finished 8th. Then they finished 8th again. And they finished 5th. And everyone said it's the process. Trust the process. So why, maybe we should trust this new process, this new project.
I think one of the biggest expectations for you next season, Dan, is that we don't finish below Crystal Palace.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I got to collect my bet of him wearing a West Ham top. Thanks for reminding me, Ryan. I'm like this guy.
The other thing as well, we need to see, the comment there come up. We need to see a progression in some of the youngsters as well. We've got some top talented youngsters there. Potts has done himself a lot of favours in his performances in pre-season. He's another one who's chomping at a bit. And obviously competition for that midfield is going to be fierce, especially with another midfielder going in. But, we want to see these players. Earthy, again, we forget about him, the impact that he had when he come on. He's another exciting, young, untalented player. So
I think Lopetegui's made it clear that he wants to, and Cole said on that night, the evening we had with him, that Lopetegui's going to already stated that he's going to look at a lot of the youth and try to progress them and bring them through. And even if they don't get a lot of minutes in the Premier League, it's about being in the match day squad. And when they do get a chance, take it.
Yeah. And that's it. And this is what we said. Where when you look at teams last season who were going through injury crises, with Brighton, for example, when they brought players on, they brought players in who none of us knew, but they were players that played in that position. It weren't like a square peg in a round hole like with Moyes. We'd have a youngster on the bench who can play that position, but instead he plays a centre midfielder at left wing. You know, I just hope that when we do have these injury problems pop up, because it's a long season, your players are going to get injured. Instead of shoehorning in a player that doesn't play in that position just because he's an experienced pro, give a youngster like Earthy that we saw, give him a chance. Give them a chance to see what they can do in a side around 10 other first teamers, not in a side where you've got 5 or 6 youngsters, 5 or 6 5 reserve players, where they're not going to get to show what they can do. And that's what I'm hoping that we'll see going forward now.
Exciting stuff for sure. By the way, I see a comment. Adam was asking our thoughts on the concessions. Rewind it a bit, mate. Rewind it. We had a big chat about that. But
one other good bit of news is that we've got another night at the Brewdog coming up in September with Kevin Nolan, and it's sold out already. Sold out.
That will be
7 weeks before it's sold out.
Very, very interesting. Obviously, there'll be a video on the channel. That'll be very interesting for sure. Because obviously, look, he had a very great time with us as a player and as a coach. So insight.
I just can't wait to talk about Prague.
Prague. Yeah, definitely.
We've had some good nights at the Brewdog. We've been lucky. We've had Ginge, obviously Ashton, Colton Cole, and now Kevin Nolan. It's a brilliant lineup. But I don't know. I don't know if the Brewdog are going to release any more tickets. I mean, they might look into releasing another 15 or 20, whatever. It won't be many because it ain't that big in there, but it's a good crowd. And for it to be sold out already is just shows what everyone's looking forward to seeing what Kevin Nolan's got to say.
Yeah. It's going to be a very, very interesting one, mate, because I'm sure he's got some decent stories to tell as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the best stories are never on camera, though.
That's it. That's why you've got to go.
He's a character. But yeah, no, great chatting football on here with you guys again. Great to be back on Friday Night Punt. I know you've all missed it. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. Anything else, lads?
Yeah, no, good to be back. Good to have a chat with you again. And a lot more West Ham fan TV. I know a lot of people have been, as Dan said at the beginning, a lot of messages where he's been, it's I've been out and people have come up to me and said, "Oh, what's happening with the channel and all that?" And it has been difficult the last few weeks and probably a couple of months now. But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back with the videos, and bringing you our happy faces again.
100%. So hopefully speaking of happy faces, hopefully you'll see Nicky as well. He's out working. He's doing nights for a while. So I don't know when he'll be on Friday Night Pint, but yes, he'll be. You'll see his face soon, I'm sure. So yeah, listen. Thanks everyone. Hope you all have a great weekend. Looking forward to the season. The signings are coming thick and fast. Lots to be excited about, and only one thing left to say, lads.